First contact. Unexpected visitors. The vast expanse of space had always beckoned humanity, its endless possibilities fueling dreams of exploration and discovery. But on that fateful day, as the first signs of an alien presence appeared on Earth's most advanced detection systems, the reality of humanity's place in the cosmos came crashing down with breathtaking speed. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, lead scientist at the Global Space Observation Network, GSON, stared at her monitors in disbelief. The readings were unlike anything she had ever seen before. Energy signatures that defied known physics rippled across her screens, heralding the approach of something extraordinary. "This can't be right," she muttered, her fingers flying across the keyboard as she ran diagnostic after diagnostic. But each test only confirmed what her instincts were screaming. They were no longer alone in the universe. As the anomaly grew stronger, governments around the world scrambled to respond. Military forces were put on high alert, and civilians watched the skies with a mixture of fear and excitement. The media buzzed with speculation, experts of all stripes offering their theories on what might be coming. Then, without warning, they arrived. A fleet of sleek, otherworldly vessels appeared in Earth's orbit, their hulls shimmering with an iridescent light that seemed to bend reality itself. The sight was both terrifying and awe-inspiring, a moment that would be forever etched in the annals of human history. As the world held its breath, a message was broadcast simultaneously on every communication channel, in every language known to humankind. "People of Earth, we come in peace. We are the Galactic Alliance, a confederation of spacefaring civilizations. We have long observed your world from afar, and now we seek to establish formal contact. Please, do not be alarmed." The voice was calm, almost melodious, but there was an unmistakable note of authority behind it. This was not a request, but a statement of intent. In the days that followed, Earth's leaders engaged in frantic discussions, trying to formulate a unified response to this unprecedented situation. Dr. Rodriguez found herself thrust into the spotlight, her expertise suddenly in high demand as governments sought to understand the nature of their visitors. Based on our observations, she explained to a room full of grim-faced officials, their technology is far beyond anything we currently possess. The energy output of a single one of their ships is equivalent to our entire global power grid. A hush fell over the room as the implications of her words sank in. Humanity was outmatched, outgunned, and utterly unprepared for this moment. Or so they thought. As negotiations for a formal meeting began, a curious thing happened. The aliens, who called themselves the Tsar Kelly, seemed oddly hesitant, almost cautious in their approach. They insisted on a neutral meeting ground, a space station of their own design, positioned halfway between Earth and the Moon. "We must insist on certain precautions," the Zarkali representative said, its holographic form flickering slightly. "Our scans have detected some anomalies in your technological capabilities that we do not fully understand." This statement sent ripples of confusion through the human delegation. Anomalies? What could possibly give such an advanced race pause? The answer came from an unexpected source. Dr. Alexei Volkov, a reclusive genius known for his groundbreaking work in quantum computing, stepped forward with a revelation that would change everything. "They're afraid," he said, his eyes gleaming with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "They've detected our quantum entanglement network." The room erupted in a cacophony of voices, but Dr. Volkov pressed on. "For the past decade, we've been developing a communication system based on quantum entanglement. It's instantaneous, undetectable by conventional means, and theoretically unhackable. If the Zarkali have noticed it, then they realize we're not as primitive as they thought," finished Admiral Sarah Chen, her voice cutting through the din. "This changes everything." As the implications of this revelation sank in, a new strategy began to form. Humanity might be outgunned in conventional terms, but they had an ace up their sleeve, one that even their advanced visitors hadn't anticipated. The stage was set for a diplomatic dance, unlike any in human history. As the delegation prepared to board the shuttle that would take them to the Zarkeli space station, there was a palpable sense of both excitement and trepidation. Dr. Rodriguez found herself on the team, along with Dr. Volkov, Admiral Chen, and a carefully selected group of diplomats and scientists. As they strapped themselves in for launch, she couldn't help but feel a sense of irony. Humanity had long dreamed of this moment, of first contact with an alien civilization. But now that it was here, it was nothing like anyone had imagined. The shuttle lifted off, carrying with it the hopes and fears of an entire planet. As they ascended through the atmosphere, leaving the familiar blue of Earth behind, Dr. Rodriguez's mind raced with possibilities. What other surprises did humanity have in store for their alien visitors? And more importantly, what surprises did the Zarkeli have for them? As the sleek Zarkeli space station grew larger in the viewport, one thing became crystal clear. The future of humanity would be decided in the next few days, and it would take all of their ingenuity, courage, and that uniquely human spirit of defiance to ensure that future was one of their own choosing. The shuttle docked with a soft thud, and as the airlock cycled, Dr. Rodriguez took a deep breath. Whatever lay beyond that door would change the course of human history forever. With a hiss of equalizing pressure, the door slid open, revealing the alien interior of the station, and the first glimpse of the Zarkeli themselves. The game was about to begin, and humanity was playing for keeps. The Galactic Council's dilemma. The Zarkeli space station was a marvel of engineering, its sweeping curves and shimmering surfaces unlike anything human eyes had ever seen. As the Earth delegation stepped through the airlock, they found themselves in a vast, circular chamber bathed in soft, bluish light. And there, waiting for them, were the Zarkeli. Tall, slender beings with iridescent skin that seemed to ripple with colors, the aliens regarded the humans with large, multifaceted eyes. Their bodies were vaguely humanoid, but with an otherworldly grace that made them seem almost ethereal. "Welcome, representatives of Earth," the lead Zarkeli spoke, its voice a melodious hum that seemed to resonate within the humans' minds rather than their ears. "I am Xanthor, emissary of the Galactic Council." Admiral Chen stepped forward, her posture straight and confident. "On behalf of Earth, we thank you for this opportunity. I am Admiral Sarah Chen, and these are my colleagues." She introduced each member of the delegation, ending with Dr. Rodriguez and Dr. Volkov. As the introductions concluded, Xanthor's gaze lingered on Dr. Volkov. "We are particularly interested in your technological advancements. Dr. Volkov, perhaps you could enlighten us." The tension in the room was palpable. This was the moment they had prepared for, the delicate dance of revealing enough to intrigue, but not so much as to give away their advantage. Dr. Volkov cleared his throat. "We'd be happy to discuss our technologies, Emissary Xanthor. But first, we're curious about the Galactic Council you mentioned. Could you tell us more?" A flicker of what might have been surprise passed across Xanthor's features. "Of course, the Galactic Council is a confederation of advanced civilizations, dedicated to maintaining peace and order in the galaxy. We have existed for millennia, guiding younger races towards enlightenment and integration into the galactic community." As Xanthor spoke, holographic images appeared around the chamber, showing vast fleets of ships, sprawling space stations, and alien worlds teeming with life. It was a dizzying display of advanced technology and cosmic scale. "And now," Xanthor continued, "we have come to offer Earth a place within this grand alliance." The word hung in the air, laden with implications. Dr. Rodriguez felt a chill run down her spine. This wasn't just first contact. This was an invitation to join a galactic civilization. Admiral Chen's voice was measured when she spoke. "We're honored by your offer, emissary. However, I'm sure you understand that such a decision cannot be made lightly. We would need to know more about what joining the Galactic Council entails." Xanthor's multifaceted eyes seemed to shimmer. "Of course, Admiral. We propose a cultural and technological exchange. We would share our advanced sciences, open up trade routes, and offer protection from any hostile forces in the galaxy. And in return, Dr. Volkov asked, his voice sharp. There was a pause before Xanthor answered. In return, we would expect Earth to conform to the Council's laws and regulations. This would include restrictions on certain technologies deemed too dangerous for younger races, and the acceptance of Council oversight in your off-world activities. The human delegation exchanged glances. The offer was both tempting and troubling. Access to advanced alien technology could propel humanity forward by centuries. But at what cost? You mentioned restrictions on technology, Dr. Rodriguez said, stepping forward. Could you be more specific? Xanthor's skin rippled with colors. Certainly. Technologies such as unrestricted AI, certain types of weaponry, and unconventional communication methods would be closely regulated. Dr. Volkov's eyebrows shot up at the last item. It was clear the Zarkali were referring to the quantum entanglement network. Their caution suddenly made sense. They were afraid of technology they couldn't control. Admiral Chen decided it was time to change the subject. Emissary Xanthor, you've shown us impressive images of your civilization. We'd like to reciprocate by sharing some information about Earth. Dr. Rodriguez, if you would. Elena nodded, pulling out a small device. With a flick of her wrist, she activated it, and suddenly the chamber was filled with holographic images of Earth, its cities, its natural wonders, its people. The Zarkali watched with evident fascination as scenes of human life played out before them. But it was when Dr. Rodriguez began showcasing human technological achievements that their interest truly piqued. Images of quantum computers, fusion reactors, and advanced robotics flashed by. Elena carefully curated the presentation, showing enough to impress, but holding back their true capabilities. As the presentation concluded, there was a moment of silence. Then, one of the Zarkali who had remained quiet until now spoke up. Impressive, for such a young race. But surely you understand that compared to the Council, your technology is still primitive. The condescension in the alien's tone was unmistakable. Dr. Volkov bristled, but before he could respond, Admiral Chen stepped in. We're well aware that we have much to learn, she said smoothly. But we're also confident in our ability to contribute to the galactic community. In fact, we have a proposal of our own. This caught the Zarkali off guard. Xanthor's colors shifted rapidly. A proposal? We're intrigued. Please, continue. Admiral Chen nodded to Dr. Volkov, who stepped forward. We propose a joint research initiative, he said, a collaboration between Earth scientists and your own, to explore new frontiers in technology and science. The Zarkali delegation conferred among themselves, their bodies shimmering with rapid color changes. Finally, Xanthor turned back to the humans. An interesting proposal, the alien said. But what could your scientists possibly offer that ours have not already discovered? Dr. Volkov smiled. It was the opening they had been waiting for. How about instantaneous communication across any distance, completely secure and undetectable? The chamber fell silent. The Zarkali stared at Dr. Volkov, their alien features unreadable. But the tension in the air was palpable. Finally, Xanthor spoke, its voice carefully controlled. You claim to have achieved this. Not just claimed, Dr. Volkov replied. We've done it, and that's just the beginning. The Zarkali delegation erupted into a flurry of movement and color-shifting communication. It was clear that this revelation had thrown their carefully laid plans into disarray. As the aliens conferred, Admiral Chen gathered the human delegation close. Well done, she whispered. We've got their attention. Now, let's see how they react. Dr. Rodriguez watched the Zarkali with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. They had just changed the rules of the game. But as she observed the aliens' agitated state, she couldn't help but wonder, had they just made powerful allies or dangerous enemies? The fate of Earth now hung in the balance, as two civilizations, separated by vast gulfs of space and technology, began the delicate process of finding common ground. And as the Zarkali turned back to face them, their alien features set in grim determination, Dr. Rodriguez knew that the real challenge was only just beginning. Humanity's technological marvels unveiled. The tension in the chamber was palpable as the Zarkali delegation finished their private conference. Tanfor's iridescent skin had settled into a deep, pulsating blue, a color the humans had come to associate with intense concentration or concern. Dr. Volkov, Tanfor began, its voice a carefully modulated hum. Your claim is extraordinary. The Council has long considered instantaneous, undetectable communication to be theoretically impossible. If what you say is true, it would revolutionize galactic communication. Dr. Volkov nodded, a hint of pride gleaming in his eyes. We understand the significance of our discovery, emissary. That's precisely why we propose this joint research initiative. We believe that by combining our unique approaches, we could unlock even greater scientific breakthroughs. The Zarkali exchanged glances, their skin rippling with rapid color changes, a clear sign of agitation. Finally, one of them, a slightly smaller being with a silvery sheen to its skin, stepped forward. I am Zalra, chief scientist of the Zarkali fleet, it announced. We would very much like to see a demonstration of this technology. Admiral Chen nodded. We anticipated your interest and came prepared. Dr. Rodriguez, if you would. Belina stepped forward, pulling out two small devices from her bag. They were sleek, black cubes, each about the size of a human palm. These are quantum entanglement communicators, or QECs, she explained. They operate on the principle of quantum entanglement, allowing instantaneous communication regardless of distance. She handed one device to Dr. Volkov and kept the other. Dr. Volkov will now leave this chamber and travel to the other side of your station. Once there, he'll send us a message. The transmission will be instantaneous and undetectable by any conventional means. The Zarkali watched with rapt attention as Dr. Volkov left the room, escorted by one of their own. Minutes ticked by intense silence. Then suddenly, Elena's device lit up with a soft blue glow. Message received, she announced, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. She turned the device so the aliens could see the screen. There, in clear text, was a message. The stars look different from this side of the station. Humanity's reach now extends beyond the stars. The effect on the Zarkali was immediate and dramatic. Their bodies flickered through a rapid series of colors, and a low, harmonic hum filled the air, their equivalent of excited chatter. Zalra stepped closer, its multifaceted eyes fixed on the device. Impossible, it breathed. Our sensors detected nothing. No signal, no transmission of any kind. How? Dr. Rodriguez smiled. That's the beauty of quantum entanglement. The particles are linked at a fundamental level. Information isn't transmitted in the conventional sense. It simply exists in both places simultaneously. As if on cue, Dr. Volkov re-entered the chamber, a triumphant smile on his face. I trust my message was received. The Zarkali were visibly shaken. This single demonstration had upended centuries of their scientific understanding. Tanfor's color had shifted to a deep purple, a hue the humans hadn't seen before. This changes everything, Tanfor said, its voice trembling slightly. The Council must be informed immediately. Such technology, it could alter the balance of power in the galaxy. Admiral Chen stepped forward, her posture radiating calm authority. That's precisely why we're proposing this joint initiative, emissary. We understand the implications of our discovery. We don't want to disrupt the galactic order. We want to contribute to it, to help push the boundaries of science for the benefit of all species. Tanfor seemed to consider this for a moment. Your offer is generous, Admiral, but surely you understand our concern. Such technology in the wrong hands could be catastrophic. We're well aware of the risks, Dr. Volkov interjected. That's why we've taken extreme precautions. The technology is safeguarded by protocols that even we don't fully understand. This caught the Zarkali's attention. Zalra's colors shifted rapidly. What do you mean, protocols you don't understand? Dr. Rodriguez took a deep breath. This was the moment of truth, the revelation that could either cement their position or alienate them completely. The quantum entanglement network, she began, was not entirely of our own making. 15 years ago, we discovered an alien artifact buried deep beneath the Antarctic ice. This artifact contained information about quantum entanglement technology far beyond our understanding. We've spent the last decade and a half decoding and implementing this knowledge. The chamber fell silent. The Zarkali stared at the humans, their alien features unreadable. Finally, Xanthor spoke, its voice barely above a whisper. An artifact of alien origin. This is unprecedented. In all our centuries of exploration, we've never encountered technology left behind by precursor civilizations. The implications are staggering. Admiral Chen nodded gravely. We understand. Emissary. That's why we're reaching out now. We believe this discovery is too important to keep to ourselves. We want to work with the Galactic Council to unlock its secrets, to understand not just the how, but the who and the why. The Zarkali delegation huddled together, their bodies a whirl of shifting colors as they communicated in their own unique way. The humans waited, tension thick in the air. Finally, Xanthor turned back to them. Your honesty is appreciated, humans of Earth. You've given us much to consider. The Council will need to be consulted. This changes not just our perception of your species, but potentially our understanding of galactic history itself. Dr. Rodriguez felt a glimmer of hope. They had taken an enormous risk in revealing the truth about the artifact, but it seemed to have paid off. The Zarkali were no longer looking at them as primitive upstarts, but as potential partners in a cosmic mystery. We thank you for your consideration, Emissary, Admiral Chen said. We stand ready to cooperate fully with the Council. Our goal is mutual understanding and advancement. Xanthor's colors settled into a calm, swirling pattern. You have certainly given us much to ponder, humans. We will convene with the Council and return with their decision. In the meantime, please consider yourselves our honored guests. As the Zarkali delegation filed out of the chamber, the human team exchanged looks of cautious optimism. They had played their hand, revealed their greatest secret. Now, all they could do was wait and hope that their gamble would pay off. But as Dr. Rodriguez watched the aliens leave, a nagging thought tugged at the back of her mind. If humanity had found one alien artifact, could there be others out there? And if so, what other wonders, or dangers, might be waiting to be discovered in the vast, uncharted reaches of the galaxy? The game had changed, and the stakes were higher than ever. Humanity's future among the stars hung in the balance, and the next move belonged to the mysterious Galactic Council. Diplomatic dance and hidden agendas. The hours following the revelation of Earth's quantum entanglement technology and the existence of the alien artifact stretched into a tense waiting game. The human delegation was escorted to luxurious quarters aboard the Zarkali station, but the opulent surroundings did little to ease their nerves. Dr. Elena Rodriguez paced the common area, her mind racing. We've shown our hand, she mused aloud. Now we wait to see if they call our bluff or raise the stakes. Admiral Chen, seated at a holographic console, nodded grimly. It's a calculated risk, but it was necessary. We couldn't enter into any agreement with the Council without full disclosure. Now, at least, we're negotiating from a position of strength. Dr. Volkov, who had been uncharacteristically quiet since their meeting with the Zarkali, suddenly spoke up. There's something we're missing, he said, his brow furrowed in concentration. The Zarkali's reaction to the artifact. It was more than just surprise. There was fear there, too. Before anyone could respond, a soft chime announced the arrival of a visitor. The door slid open to reveal Zalra, the Zarkali chief scientist. its skin shimmering with muted tones of blue and green. "Esteemed humans," Zalra began, its melodic voice tinged with an emotion the humans couldn't quite place. "The Council has been informed of your revelations. They have many questions, as do I. If you're amenable, I'd like to discuss some of the technical aspects of your quantum entanglement technology." Admiral Chen exchanged quick glances with her team before nodding. "Of course, Zalra. We'd be happy to explain further within the bounds of our security protocols." What followed was an intense technical discussion that stretched on for hours. Dr. Volkov and Dr. Rodriguez tag-teamed the explanation, delving into the intricacies of quantum physics and the unique properties of the entangled particles they used for communication. Zalra listened intently, its colors shifting rapidly as it processed the information. Occasionally, it would interject with a question or observation that revealed the depth of Zarkali's scientific knowledge and the gaps that Earth's discovery had exposed. As the discussion wound down, Zaldra's demeanor changed. Its colors settled into a deep, pulsating purple. "Your achievements are remarkable," it said, a note of something like reverence in its voice. "But I must ask, have you considered the full implications of what you've discovered?" Dr. Rodriguez leaned forward, intrigued. "What do you mean, Zalra?" The alien scientist's colors swirled anxiously. "The artifact you found. It suggests the existence of a civilization far more advanced than even the Galactic Council. A civilization that may have mastered not just space, but time itself." The implications hung heavy in the air. Admiral Chen broke the silence. "You think the artifact might be from the future?" Zalra's body rippled with color. "It's a possibility we cannot ignore. And if true, it raises troubling questions about causality and the nature of our reality." Before the conversation could go further, another chime interrupted them. This time, it was Scanthor who entered, its presence immediately commanding the room. "The Council has reached a decision," Scanthor announced, its tone grave. "They wish to speak with you directly." The human delegation was ushered into a vast chamber, dominated by a semicircular array of holographic projections. Each projection showed a different alien species, the full representation of the Galactic Council. A being of pure energy, swirling in patterns of light, spoke first. "Humans of Earth, you have presented us with a conundrum. Your technology, if genuine, surpasses our own in ways we thought impossible. Yet you are a young race, barely out of your own solar system." Another counselor, a massive gelatinous entity, chimed in. "We have two choices before us. We can embrace you as equals, sharing knowledge and resources, or we can isolate you, deeming your advancement too swift and potentially dangerous." Admiral Chen stepped forward, her posture straight and confident. "Honored Council, we understand your concerns. We come not as conquerors or disruptors, but as partners. We believe that together, we can unlock the mysteries of the universe, including the origins of the artifact we discovered." A ripple of communication passed through the Council. Finally, an avian being with iridescent feathers spoke. "Your words are noble, human, but words are easily spoken. We require proof of your intentions. What would you ask of us?" Dr. Volkov inquired, a note of caution in his voice. The energy being pulsed brightly. "Share with us the location of the artifact. Allow our scientists to study it alongside yours. This would be a gesture of trust and cooperation." The human delegation exchanged glances. This was a critical moment. Their response could shape the future of human-alien relations for generations to come. Admiral Chen took a deep breath. "Honored Council, we appreciate the gravity of your request. We're willing to share the artifact's location and grant access to your scientists under certain conditions. We propose a joint research team with equal representation from Earth and the Council races. All discoveries and advancements would be shared equally among all parties." The Council chambers erupted in a cacophony of alien voices and color shifts. The humans waited, hearts pounding, as the galactic leaders debated among themselves. Finally, the energy being spoke again, its light pulsing slowly. "Your proposal is Acceptable. We will form this joint research team. But know this, humans of Earth, you now stand at a crossroads. Your actions in the coming days and years will determine your place in the galactic community. Choose wisely. As the Council's holograms flickered out, the human delegation let out a collective breath. They had done it. Earth was now, for better or worse, a recognized player on the galactic stage. But as they turned to leave the chamber, Dr. Rodriguez couldn't shake a feeling of unease. They had achieved their immediate goal, but at what cost? And what secrets would the artifact reveal when studied by the combined might of Earth and alien science? As they walked back to their quarters, Admiral Chen voiced what they were all thinking. "This isn't the end," she said quietly. "It's just the beginning. And I have a feeling that the greatest challenges and wonders still lie ahead." The others nodded in agreement. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, but the journey ahead was fraught with both promise and peril. As the stars wheeled slowly outside the station's viewports, they could only wonder what the future held for Earth and its newfound place among the cosmic powers. A new era for the galaxy. The weeks following the Galactic Council's decision were a whirlwind of activity. Earth buzzed with excitement and apprehension as news of the alien contact and subsequent alliance spread across the globe. Meanwhile, on the Zarkeli space station, preparations were underway for the joint research initiative that would change the course of galactic history. Dr. Elena Rodriguez found herself at the center of it all, coordinating with alien scientists from a dozen different species. The linguistic and cultural barriers were daunting, but the universal language of mathematics and the common goal of unlocking the artifact's secrets bridged many gaps. One morning, as Elena was poring over some data in the station's main laboratory, she felt a presence behind her. She turned to find Zalra, the Zarkeli chief scientist, its skin shimmering with excitement. "Dr. Rodriguez," Zalra hummed, "we've made a breakthrough. You need to see this immediately." Elena followed Zalra to a secure chamber where the artifact was kept. As they entered, she gasped. The previously inert object was now pulsing with a soft blue light. It started responding to a specific frequency of quantum oscillations, Zalra explained, its colors shifting rapidly. "We believe it's trying to communicate." Dr. Volkov, who had been working at a nearby console, joined them. "The patterns," he murmured, studying the pulsing light. "They're not random. It's a language, a quantum language." For the next several hours, the combined team of human and alien scientists worked feverishly to decipher the artifact's message. As the pieces fell into place, a stunning picture began to emerge. The artifact wasn't just a piece of advanced technology. It was a message in a bottle, sent from the distant future. The civilization that created it had mastered not only space but time itself. They had seen the rise and fall of countless galactic empires, witnessed the birth and death of stars, and had come to a troubling conclusion. The universe was dying faster than it should. "This is incredible," Admiral Chen breathed as the team briefed her on their findings. "But what does it mean for us, for the galaxy?" Dr. Rodriguez took a deep breath before answering. "The message is both a warning and an invitation. The future civilization believes that the key to saving the universe lies in the unified efforts of all sentient species. They've left similar artifacts across time and space, hoping to nudge younger civilizations towards cooperation and shared scientific advancement." "And the quantum entanglement technology?" Sanfor asked, its colors swirling with a mix of awe and concern. "It's just the beginning," Dr. Volkov explained. "The artifact contains hints of even more advanced sciences, technologies that could reshape reality itself. But it's clear that no single species was meant to discover this alone. It requires the combined knowledge and perspectives of multiple civilizations to unlock its full potential." The implications were staggering. The Galactic Council, once the undisputed authority in known space, now found itself humbled by the scope of the challenge before them. Humanity, the newcomers, had inadvertently become the catalyst for a new era of galactic cooperation. In the days that followed, the news spread across the galaxy. Species that had long been at odds found themselves working together, pooling their knowledge and resources. The Joint Research Initiative expanded, drawing in scientists and thinkers from hundreds of worlds. Earth, once a backwater planet on the fringes of known space, became a hub of interstellar activity. The combined fleet of the Galactic Council took up orbit around the blue planet, a symbol of the new alliance that was forming. As Elena stood in the station's observatory, watching ships from a dozen alien civilizations maneuver around Earth, she felt a profound sense of awe and responsibility. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" Admiral Chen said, joining her at the viewport. "And terrifying." Elena nodded. "We've come so far, so fast. Sometimes I wonder if we're ready for this." The Admiral placed a hand on her shoulder. "Ready or not, this is our reality now. We've been given a chance to shape the future of not just our world, but the entire universe. It's up to us to rise to the challenge." As if on cue, a notification chimed on Elena's communicator. Another breakthrough in the artifact research. She smiled at the Admiral and turned to head back to the lab. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with both promise and peril. But as humanity stood on the brink of a new cosmic age, one thing was clear. They were no longer alone in facing the universe's greatest mysteries. Together with their new allies, they would forge a future brighter than any single species could have imagined. As Elena walked through the station's corridors, surrounded by beings from across the galaxy, all working towards a common goal, she felt a surge of hope. Whatever challenges lay ahead, whatever cosmic threats loomed in the distant future, they would face them united. The stars had once seemed cold and distant. Now they beckoned with the promise of new discoveries, new alliances, and a shared destiny that stretched beyond the boundaries of time itself. Humanity had taken its place among the stars, not as conquerors or subjects, but as partners in the greatest adventure in cosmic history. The future, with all its infinite possibilities, awaited.